Richie Rich.
Hi, Joe.
Good morning, Johnny.
You know, the cheetah is the only cat in the world that can't retract its claws.
Well, I didn't know that. When you say, you almost made it sound like most people know. No, I did not know that.
Yeah. Well, I assumed that you wouldn't, but I think some people might have had an inkling.
Maybe.
Cheetahs, the fastest cat, can't retract their claws like all other cats.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, was Tyreek Hill, he was known as the cheetah, right?
Correct.
Yes, he was.
And he was.
Probably still is.
I think that's his nickname.
Yeah, but not as good as he used to be.
Well, he got hurt this year.
Yeah, old guy.
Sort of
Andy dumped him like 4 years ago. So I'm choosing.
He's still really good.
Not what he was. Not prime
He's
cheetah.
playing down there in Miami.
Hall of Famer, probably.
Guys turn it off and on.
Well,
regularly.
yeah, that got messy down there. Not more messy down there than here, but it's amazing with all the success Eagles have, how frequently it feels like they find a mess or people talk about a mess. So let's get into it today here at 215-592-9494. And I don't mean to say that to skew negative. The reality is I'm actually very pumped up about possibilities, but I am curious with all of the conversation from yesterday stemming from Sunday, to an extent stemming from the season, because there was the decision to play the rest of the starters, play the backups, but then there was the offense, even with a different quarterback, didn't look great, and all the consternation that's been on the air. But knowing the opportunity is there. I mean, guys, they just got to win 4 games to be the first team in 50 years to repeat in Philadelphia. I ask you a very open-ended question here today at 215-592-9494. How do you feel about our football team? How do you feel about the Eagles? The good, the bad, the exciting, the frustrating, and I think there's a lot of all of that, frankly. I ask you at 215-592-9494. John, I turn to you first. Yeah. How do you feel about our football team?
I feel like I have no idea what to expect. I feel like I'm doing better than I was yesterday as it pertains to the team. And I truly feel like there's no use belaboring the issue any longer, because it is done and we are seated and we are
it is what it is.
It's time to move forward.
Yeah.
So of course I hope that my negative impression, my bad feelings about the way things are going to go are wrong, and they very well could be. I know that the team that we're about to play, I've been trying to watch some film, trying to understand exactly.
Eagles or San Fran?
San Fran. Yeah. Going back to that Saturday night game, just trying to figure out if we can do what the Seahawks did, which was dominate that team. And, when you look at their roster, it is kind of, you can find things to be positive about. I look at the fact that they got no Bosa, they got no Fred Warner. That's huge for us to be able to move the ball. My question is, I don't really even know what this offense can do.
Eagles.
Yes, this Eagles offense, have they been playing sleight of hand all year long, saving up for this moment where they're going to unleash some stuff? I sure hope so.
Only Jalen's running, I think, falls into that category. I don't think
but
they suddenly...
we've seen the way that they can open up when Jalen does run it more.
Yeah, we have.
And we know that the 2 best players on the 49ers defense are going to be out. That's good.
That's great.
But, we also have to stop that offense. I feel great about our defense. My biggest question is, can we become consistent offensively when we don't seem to want to run the ball as much as I would like to run the ball, and we don't seem capable of running the ball as much as I would like to run the ball? Saquon has half the year he had last season, and a big reason why is the offensive line hasn't performed, and we just haven't called the run enough. So now, can they straighten that out? If they do, can they turn things around and, right some of the wrongs that we saw out there during the season? Yes, it is possible. And I am, I'm trying to, redirect my thinking, because it was all.
Well, you were so frustrated yesterday. Yeah.
I was frustrated, clearly. But we have to move forward. I hope it turns out better than it felt to me yesterday. I'm hoping by the time the game comes around, I have seen things I can dig into and sink my teeth into that I really do feel good, and I'm not just trying to pump myself up, because that really is the way I feel right now. I'm trying to pump myself up for a situation that I feel we could have controlled and harnessed better than we have.
No, I get it. You're still sort of there, but you're trying to move out of it. I get it. Look, curious from everyone's standpoint at 215-592-9494, how you feel about the Birds. The positives, the negatives, the game itself, but also the journey ahead and the journey behind. The whole thing. It's all on the table. Look, here's what I'd say where I come from. I'll give you a couple adjectives, but then I'm going to give you really my phrase. I do feel excited. I do feel hopeful. I do feel anxious. But I'm going to tell you in 2 words what I really feel. And this isn't just about the game. This is about the next month. Cautiously confident. I feel cautiously confident. So let's talk about the confident part first. I will tell you right now, and I said this a couple weeks ago, and I'll stand by it. I would take the Eagles' chances right now moving forward in this tournament, and this is a tournament, and I think there's about 10 teams that could legitimately win it. Carolina's not one of them, but I think there's about 10 teams. I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers can win it, but I think there's about 10 teams that can win this thing. Eagles are obviously one of those, 10, roughly. I would take the Eagles over all of them, over any individual one, that is, for best chance to pull it off. And that's because of, their defense is phenomenal. James made the point yesterday, he thinks it's the best unit in the NFC, offense or defense. I think that's probably accurate. Obviously, the Rams have a really good offense. So there's a couple.
And the Seahawks D, there are a few out there.
Yeah, for sure.
That you're overlooking some really outstanding performances during the regular season by teams in the AFC, like the Denver Broncos.
We're just talking about the NFC.
He referenced the NFC.
I was just saying in the NFC.
Was NFC. Yeah. But obviously, Denver's defense also to be considered. And, the Eagles' defense, you got that in your back pocket. By the way, last time this whole squad played, they beat the Bills in Buffalo. I mean, that's harder than beating, for instance, San Fran here. I think it's harder than beating Chicago there, but, it's debatable. Buffalo's not quite what they were in the last couple of years. Chicago's better. You can make of it what you will. But I would take the Eagles over any of them. Number one, because the Eagles' defense is outstanding. Number two, I do
think...
Over
the Seahawks?
Yeah. I would. I would take them over the Seahawks.
They won 14 games.
I would take them over New England. And it's debatable. I mean, it's
close, but they're battle-tested, too.
Yeah.
That Seahawks defense isn't.
I think the Super Bowl pedigree, in this case, I'm going to say helps. Now, I understand, guys, there's overwhelming history that normally when you win the Super Bowl, you then don't win the Super Bowl. I get it. I get, like, the Chiefs and the Patriots are the anomaly, and normally, like the Rams 4 years ago, or the Eagles in 2017, or pick your team.
It's a huge help that the starters have been there and done that. And a team like
the
Seahawks, they've got a quarterback who has done the opposite
of
that.
Yeah, that part, I think the Eagles...
Our quarterback has excelled when the pressure's on, and we've watched Sam Darnold crumble. So when I say you leave the Seahawks out, I'm sure there are people saying, they're quarterbacked by Sam Darnold. Sure. It's the same problem the Lions have had for the last several years, in my opinion. I think Jared Goff is not that good.
Well, yeah,
I know that Sam Darnold is he struggles when the bright lights are on.
So look, I think the Eagles are mostly healthy. Now, the two main guys, you don't even know if they're going to play, but they probably will, and you don't know how effective they'll be, are N'Kobe and Lane. So that's very important. Then there's the two guys will play, but you don't know how effective they'll be, and this year they've been pretty ineffective, and that's Landon Dickerson and Jurgens. So, you got, but I mean, grand scheme of things, compared to like Fred Warner ain't going to play, that's a big difference. I do like the rest factor. So,
Doesn't it sound like we're trying to convince ourselves of something?
No, I'm not. So the way I size it up, I have a lot to be confident in. Now, the when I say cautiously confident, the part for me that's cautious is the offense, of course. Of course it is. It's the fact that they haven't hummed all year. It's the fact that, I don't trust this offensive line right now. It's the fact that I don't trust Jalen as much as many. It's the fact that, they really haven't been very effective passing or running this year. It's not like one thing they've been able to lean on. There's a ton of people that think the coaching from an offensive standpoint stinks. I don't think it stinks all that, but, a lot of people think it does. So there are things to be concerned about for sure. But, again, where I land is cautiously confident, because I think the Eagles have an outstanding chance to make a great run here. And as a Philadelphia sports fan, I'll take my chances with that. I'm excited for it. 215-592-9494.
The starters know how to win. It helps that you've got a lot of players on this team that have played in these high-stakes games before, and you're going to be playing teams where guys don't know how fast this game gets.
Well, for sure.
The postseason is a different season.
Now, we can't ignore that, San Fran's got pedigree. I mean,
the Rams have pedigree.
Rams have pedigree. I mean, there's some teams out there that got it. There's some teams that don't. Look, 215-592-9494. Do you agree with this phrase, cautiously confident? Is that too confident?
I disagree.
Is that too unconfident?
I think it's too confident. Confident is the part, you can be cautiously optimistic. Cautiously confident, I think, is ignoring the major holes that this team has shown this season.
But I think it's also acknowledging the holes in the rest of the league. That's a big key with this. You want to hear a wild stat real quick that we've not talked about on the show? Ready for this? The Eagles and the Patriots are the only two home favorites this weekend. That's how wide open this is. The Chicago Bears are an underdog to the Packers this weekend. This is wide open this year. And the Eagles, at least pedigree-wise and talent-wise and defense-wise, they're as good as anybody.
Well, again, I'll take my chances with the Birds.
Talent-wise, yes.
Well, look, the Eagles' offense hasn't lived up to the quote talent, and I don't think other than Jalen running more that they suddenly just turn it on. I think they're going to have to be led by their defense. I mean, the formula is going to be to win a 20-16 game.
It's going to be close. I think they could win the Super Bowl with one-score games. I feel like that's the path.
Oh,
it's crazy.
That'll be easy.
It'll be real stress-free, baby.
1 touchdown and 3 Jake Elliott field goals.
Lots of teams
Maybe
do that.
mix in a Jalen Carter safety. You're good to go.